If wealth alone guaranteed happiness, well, then all the wealthy people in the world, they should be the happiest people. But tragically, the headlines and the front covers of magazines and of our media tabloids show us again and again and again that the people that seem to be the most disgruntled with life are quite often the people that seem to have everything to live with. In fact, I remember coming from Australia, one of our great export bands, INXS, lead singer, with platinum albums and incredible wealth, more money than he could spend in a lifetime, hung himself, committed suicide by hanging himself from the back of a door in his hotel room. The media went crazy saying, man, the guy had everything to live with, cars, fame, girls, platinum albums, sold out tours. How could he do it? The truth was that Michael Hutchence had everything to live with, but he'd lost something to live for. We all need a purpose that goes beyond just our stuff. You got to remember in 1 Timothy, it says that we didn't bring anything into this world, and we can't take anything out of this world. So one thing you'll never see a hearse followed by a trailer with all, just because you can't take it. Discipline is the only way that you're going to bring your finances under control. If you're ever going to get control of your financial life, you must learn to say no to immediate gratification, to spending more than what you earn, to buy now, pay later mentality. You've got to get that thing under control. For example, we've all met people who earn $40,000 per year, and over time they would get pay rises, maybe earning as high as $90,000. But they've never saved a dime. They've got nothing to show for all their pay increases, for all their hard work and all their faithfulness. Why? Because they blow it all. They keep spending more than what they earn, and they're constantly in debt, even though they've had pay rises. The Bible says that he who is impulsive exalts folly. Now you can compare two men, one who has a $40,000 salary and maybe someone who has a $400,000 salary. But if both spend it, all that they have, then both men are exactly the same. They're broke. The one with the bigger salary is just as broke. He may have some more toys for the repo guy to pick up and collect and take away, but he's just as broke as the other guy. When you have the buy now, pay later mentality, you sacrifice your future with each unnecessary purchase. We must develop power over our purchases rather than letting the purchases have power over us. We've got to figure out what our actual income is and then proceed to live below that mark, live within the confines of our income. And if we want other things, begin to set in place proper, proactive, God-blessed, biblically ordained plans to get those things. We've forgotten how to delay pleasure, how to put off instant gratification. Discipline is delayed gratification. We need to learn how to say no to things today so we can enjoy better things and a better life tomorrow. We've got to be willing to do whatever it takes. Does that mean take a second job? Well, for some of us, maybe it does. We've got to do whatever's necessary in the short term to make the long term happen. We'll never change what we constantly tolerate. What you tolerate, you're going to reinforce in your life. The longer that we tolerate and say yes to debt, the longer we delay prosperity and being free from that debt. You can stop tolerating debt today just by saying no, making a decision in your heart. Today is the last day that I'm going to be bound. If you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you've always been getting. Maybe you're married and perhaps living off one spouse's wage and using the other spouse's wage to pay off debt. That'd be a wise move towards financial freedom. It could be that you might need a job change with more pay or more benefits, or simply asking your boss for a raise. Just a note of caution though, don't quit your current job until you find a new or better paying job. As a caveat, Proverbs 21 says that good planning and hard work leads to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. In Genesis 2, God teaches us early on that he took the man and he set him down in the Garden of Eden to work the ground and to keep it in order. The first thing God did was assign Adam work. If you're lazy at work, spending more time on Facebook and Twitter than at work, or working at half speed, or constantly talking, constantly taking breaks, you're going to find it really hard to expect a pay raise or to find yourself being promoted. we need to do is we need to be diligent. We need to prove to our bosses that we are hardworking and diligent people. For us to get ahead, we've got to work hard. Proverbs chapter 24 speaks about a nap here, a nap there, a day off here, a day off there. Sit back, take it easy. Do you know what comes next? Just this. You can look forward to a dirt poor life with poverty as your permanent house guest. That's in the Message translation. Prosperity doesn't just appear out of nowhere for us. It's not an accident, neither is poverty. Both conditions come about by the result of decisions that we make in our lives. Work helps develop character. While you're building the company you work for, that company is also building you. A job is not just something for you to make a living, it will also build godly character in you. Colossians chapter 3 says, servants, do what you're told by your earthly masters, and don't just do the minimum that will get you by. Do your best, work from the heart for your real master, for God, confident that you'll get paid in full when you come into your inheritance. Keep in mind always that the ultimate master you're serving is Christ. The sullen servant who does shoddy work will be held responsible. Being a follower of Jesus doesn't cover up bad work. I gotta love that Message translation. In the same right, remember that in Exodus, it tells us that work 6 days and then rest the seventh. Stop working even during plowing and harvesting. Rest. God rested on the seventh day of creation, and He commands us to do the same. We must make sure that hard work is balanced with rest and recreation. Work hard, play hard. The purpose of rest is the enjoyment and enrichment of life and relationships. Ecclesiastes says that it's nothing better for a man than he should relax and enjoy all the fruits of his labor. Why work and never enjoy what you've earned all during the week? There are too many people caught in the cycle of work, 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 and no play. We need to learn to rest. We need to be able to stop as well and thank God for our jobs, our lives. Why? So we can move from producing to relating. You weren't created just to produce, you were created to relate. So therefore, having great vacations and finding time to do things that we love to do with the people that we love, that we've surrounded our lives with. Rest is days off to refresh and replenish yourself and your relationships and your friendship, and that is going to put the juice back into your tank. Psalm 127 instructs us that it is useless for you to work so hard from early morning until late at night, anxiously working for food to eat, for God gives rest to His loved ones. I want to talk about money borrowed must be repaid, another biblical principle. When we spend money that's not ours, we've got to be diligent to pay it back. Integrity is paying it back. It lacks integrity when we borrow without any intention of ever paying it back, or with borrowing money from people, telling them we're going to pay it back, but then not following through on our word. Proverbs 3 teaches us not to withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in the power of our hands to do so. Don't say to your neighbor, go and come back tomorrow and I will give it, when you have it with you today. Likewise, we've got to pay our taxes. Ouch. Ooh. Oh. I know what you're thinking, but we've got to pay taxes. I don't believe in taxes. I think we're taxed too much as it is. Listen, America has one of the lower tax rates of all the places to live in the world, and we live in one of the most prosperous and blessed nations. The opportunities you have here, my God, your taxes are a small price to pay to be able to have an opportunity to flourish and prosper and build a business and build a great life here in this nation. So pay your taxes. You know, Romans says pay your taxes too, for these are the same reasons. The government workers need to be paid, and they're serving God in what they do. Jesus said, render to Caesar that which is Caesar, and to God that which is God's. So bring your taxes to the government, bring your tithe to the church. When God blesses you with a career, a job, a steady source of income, we've got to be honest in our workplace. If you've stolen from your employer or from anyone, make a restitution. Luke chapter 19, meanwhile, Zacchaeus has an encounter with Jesus Christ. And at that encounter with Jesus Christ, he is so moved by the righteousness that he sees emanating from Christ that he literally makes a statement, Lord, if I've cheated people on their taxes, I'm going to pay them back fourfold everything that I've taken from them. Listen to Jesus' words. Jesus says, today salvation has come to this home, for this man also is a true son of Abraham. Incredibly powerful. Why? What was so powerful? What was so honest and integrous there was his ability to want to pay back something that he'd taken a long time ago. Pay back your debts. God sent the Holy Spirit to be our guide, your guide and my guide. Jesus says in John 16, however, when he, the Spirit of truth, has come, he will guide you into all truth. He'll not speak on his own authority, but whatever he hears, he will speak, and he will tell you things to come. He'll tell us things to come. The Holy Spirit will guide us through life and let us in on God's secrets for the future. I love that. Remember that God speaks through people. Position yourself where you can be accountable. Have a pastor or a church leader to speak into your life. Here's the question that I have for you is there somebody who can speak into your life? Now, I'm not saying, I've got a personal coach, they tell me I'm awesome. No. Who can actually speak into your life something you don't want to hear? Who can actually say to you, hey man, you're living outside of your means? Who can say to you, man, you're reckless? Who can say to you that you're living with immediate gratification? Who in your life, you are a poor man if you have no one who's able to speak into your life things you don't want to hear, and you're a rich man if you've created space in your life to hear what you don't want to hear. That's wisdom. Make sure the person you're getting counsel from actually is walking in the kind of counsel you need. So, don't ask a bitter divorced person who's just gone through their 4th divorce about giving you some keys to a happy marriage, great relational success, because it's probably not going to come. Make sure that they've got the fruit in their life of what you're wanting to see fruit in your life. Don't go to unqualified people for advice. Go to qualified people for advice. Never get advice from someone who may gain or lose according to your decision. In Proverbs 19:20, we're reminded to get all the advice and instruction that we can, so we'll be wise for the rest of our lives. This brings us to the end of this great session. You're going to go online. There's some coursework that's there for you to do. You're going to find it so exhilarating, so exciting, and it's going to help you to locate exactly where you're at so that you're going to know exactly what you need to do to get to the top of your mountain, break the cycle of debt, and live in prosperity and the financial freedom that God has ordained for you to live in. I can't wait to see you in the next series. God bless you.
Use a dream board to visualize your goals and see them come into fruition. This is somewhere where you put your pictures, inspirational quotes, scriptures, and where you write down your dreams. It can be all pictures and no text, but the whole purpose of a dream board is to give you a visual place so when you are praying and planning, you always keep your goals and dreams in front of you. For instance, if you are single, you may put a wedding-related picture on there. If you want kids, put a picture of kids. If a house, images of the kind of house you want, and so forth. As your dreams start coming to pass and you start reaching each of your goals, you can start replacing old dream pictures with new ones. We have discovered over the years that the concept of money management has remained consistent. There are just different ways of presenting the information. However, what our program will do, where others may have fallen short, is ensure a commitment for follow-through. Most programs will have a wealth of information, but provide very little practical application. When there is no real accountability, it is difficult to stay committed to the long haul of becoming debt-free. There are countless books, CDs, and DVDs all providing information on how you can be debt-free. We truly believe that while information on its own can be useful, it is information plus application that brings real transformation. Many of us already know what we need to do. We just don't always do it. This is where the Good Samaritan program differs. Not only does it provide great biblical teaching on finances, but also provides a debt management program for those who are overwhelmed with credit card debt. We are able to help all of our clients in tremendous ways. Let's listen to one client's story about the impact our program has had on their life.
My financial state was pretty bleak, harassing phone calls, letters from creditors. The debt kept piling up, the bills never got paid off, minimum payments being made, never ever getting anywhere towards the paying off the balance, and it was quite a burden on the family. The family, of course, pressure was tremendous. You were afraid to go out and spend any money because of the debt that was over your head. You felt guilty. You felt like you couldn't take care of your family. It put a lot of pressure on everybody in the family. I could never balance my budget. I could never ever make ends meet. It was always a short at the end of the month, and of course the phone calls would keep coming, and they were asking for money that I don't have, and it got to the point where you become frustrated and you became angry and all the emotions that come with that. And it got to the point where you felt like you couldn't do anything. You couldn't get out of this hole you're in. And it's, as a father and a husband, it's frustrating. I think the benefits of joining the program and the immediate benefits are the fact that you're no longer having to write checks to 7 or 8 different credit card companies. They take the money out of my account, I don't have to worry about it, and they make the payment. They negotiate for me and on my behalf, and it just takes all the stress off of having to take care of the situation. You know, one of my credit cards was almost 30%, and I'd been paying on it for 7 years and not achieved any relief from it. They got my percentage down to 0%. Every dime I pay to them now goes toward the principal of that credit card, and that's a magnificent feeling. I think the long-term benefits for me are going to be that in 3 years, I'll be completely debt-free. My credit cards will be all paid off, and I won't make that mistake again. So I'm really grateful for everything they've done. My situation financially has improved tremendously. The relief I've gotten from CCC, making that one payment, having them have to handle my credit cards, has lowered my monthly payments and whittled down my debt to a point where it's manageable, and I'm really grateful. My credit score was actually going down on a monthly basis, and since I've joined the program, my credit score has actually leveled out and is beginning to improve every single month. And I think by the time the program's over in 3 years, I should actually be up to a very, very high rate, and it's been great. The financial freedom that I've achieved through CCC's help has lifted a burden off my shoulders, has made life better. It's much better. There's not that anguish, that feeling in your gut that you just can't do enough and you'll never get ahead. Because now I see a light at the end of the tunnel, and I think it's going to be okay now.
Hey everyone, I am so excited that you are participating in this revolutionary program called the Good Samaritan Program. During these next 6 weeks, we will take you on an incredible journey on becoming debt-free by teaching you how to build wealth for the future while growing God's kingdom. Our program was designed to help every Christian in every church across America get out of debt in less time, and you are just one step closer to becoming one of those people. We are so excited to be partnering with you on this journey. We are here to help you, support you, and cheer you on until you reach debt-free living. For those of you who are debt-free, we hope you are challenged in this DVD series to expand your knowledge and allow God to increase your potential for creating wealth so that you are able to give even more to God's kingdom and help others in need. What really sets the program apart is that we don't just provide information. We don't just provide more theology or teaching. We offer practical application of the topics presented each week. Information plus application brings true transformation, whereas information without the application equals stagnation. The Bible says that faith, if it doesn't have works, is dead. And unless we're putting action to our faith and living out our faith, it is dead. So what is the practical application that we provide? First is through our debt reduction program. Take a look at the whopping number that you see on the screen in front of you. This is the amount of interest we have saved church members who have already enrolled in the program so far. That is money that is staying in the house of God rather than going to the banks. The debt reduction program really works. And now we're going to take a look at a short video that outlines clearly how it works and the benefits for you.
When you call Christian Credit Counselors, a debt reduction consultant will work with you to compile all of your credit card statements, including your balances and interest rates, and will calculate your total amount of credit card debt during a confidential money management session. The debt reduction consultant will then calculate your proposed new interest rates for each credit card and will create a personalized payment plan for you to follow. This includes the amount of time it will take to eliminate your debt, your new monthly payment, and the amount of interest you will save on the plan. For example, a church member with $40,000 of credit card debt enrolled in the program, and Christian Credit Counselors was able to lower her monthly payment by $700 and saved her $25,000 in interest. At this time, you are able to decide whether our plan is the right choice for your situation. If not, that's okay. Christian Credit Counselors is truly here to help you in any way we can. The debt consultant is also available to go over your income and expenses to help you create a workable budget and find areas where you can cut down spending and allocate those funds to needed areas. Once you are enrolled in the program, you will be able to make one monthly payment, and Christian Credit Counselors will pay all of your creditors on your behalf. If this sounds like something that would finally take the weight of debt off of your shoulders, call toll-free today for a free, confidential money management consultation at 877-218-5085 or visit us online at christiancreditcounselors.org. Christian Credit Counselors is the ethical way to pay your debts in full, in less time, and with less interest. Let us empower you to reach financial freedom.
Wow, what a powerful video. And right now, we are actually saving each member that enrolls in the debt reduction program around $10,000 in interest. This means that if there are 10 of your church members that enroll in the debt reduction program, that's around $100,000 that's no longer going to the bank as interest, but is staying in your church. That's a lot of money. If you have any credit card debt or unsecured loans, just give Christian Credit Counselors a call. They are going to help you get your life back on track by helping you pay your debts in full without having a negative effect on your credit score, which is so important. It's time to make it happen. Stop trying to do it in your own strength. Let us help you the godly, the biblical, and the ethical ways. One of the other ways we can help with practical application is through the online coursework. We have developed this coursework to be as fun, educational, practical, and interactive as possible. Here you can find such tools like the Dream Board, budget tools, expense tracker, envelope system, and the debt snowball application. The best part is that these tools aren't just for you to utilize over the next 6 weeks. You can use these tools over and over again for as long as you like. Your login access never expires. You can just keep watching the DVDs and using the tools to track your short and long-term goals as you achieve them. Now, you may be thinking coursework. That sounds a lot like schoolwork. No, it's actually quite fun, and each week will only take you about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. The only week that might take you a little bit more time is week 2, when we create our budgets. That's right, the B word, budget. But please don't skip that part, it's so important. You can also use our website and social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and our blog as additional resources to find great articles and interact with our staff here at Christian Credit Counselors, as well as other churches running the program around the country. Also, make sure that you tune into faithchannel.com to check out our weekly webisodes of GSP TV. GSP TV is a weekly program that will empower you with financial tips, biblical teaching, practical instruction, and inspiring interviews. Check out our website or go to faithchannel.com for more details. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the first week of the Good Samaritan program. I just want to get you excited about the online coursework that you have access to when you get home. This week's coursework should only take you about 20 minutes to complete, and I promise it's going to be a lot of fun. After you read through the discussion, you will have the opportunity to create a dream board online. The purpose of the dream board is to create a visualization of the goals that you want to achieve. This will serve as a tangible reminder of what you are working towards. We have loads of pictures for you to choose from as you're thinking about the types of dreams you have for your life. You can add captions to the pictures and choose as many as you would like. Next, you'll be tested on this week's memory verse. But don't cheat by copying and pasting, we'll know. After you are able to recite the verse, you'll get to complete your personal assessment. This is the exciting part of this week's coursework because it will be your first step towards finding out where you are financially and where you want to be. Once you know where you stand, you will be able to make financial goals for yourself and stick with achieving them. After that, we have a tip for you to read, and then you're finished. Now, if you don't know how to access your online coursework, go to our website and scroll to the bottom of the page where you'll find a link to the members area. Here you will log in with your email address and password. If you don't have a login access, please see your course facilitator at the end of the class and they will set you up with one. I encourage you to complete each week's online coursework so that you can get the most out of this course. If you don't have access to the internet, you can ask your course facilitator for a copy of the offline version for you to complete. Remember, information plus application brings true transformation. Information without application equals stagnation. So make sure you get online, do the coursework, have fun, and we'll see you next week.